what's up. I'm gonna be doing that Halloween look where I pinned up my mouth, so please stay tuned to see how I did that. I'm starting off with a makeup wipe, and just taking the makeup off that was around my mouth so I can kind of have a clean space to work with. And now I'm gonna use this bad boy right here, my liquid latex. That's gonna be the thing keeping my whole fake mouth together. I'm getting some in this pan thing because it's a bit messy, and I'm using that little sponge just to dab it all over the space that I'm working with. It smells a little funny, so that's why I was making my face up a while ago. But yeah, just get some tissue now, and I tore mine into, like, you don't have to do it as small as I do it, but whatever, it works. So I'm just putting that on my latex and I'm layering it, and I'll be doing that for a while. Maybe I did like 5 to 6 layers, I think. So yeah, just latex tissue, latex tissue. And when you're working with the tissue, it's gonna be a bit difficult because it's tissue and it's super thin, so it rips easily. But just take your time, have some patience, and try and get it as smooth as possible because we're trying to make it look like skin, especially at the end, like the edges. You want to make it have a nice transition from your actual face to the tissue. So just try and get it as smooth as you can. And I also did about 2 layers first, like just around my mouth, and then I started covering my lip. You guys will see eventually. So just keep layering your tissue and your latex until it's as thick as you want it to be. This is how mine looked in the end. And the latex kind of takes a while to dry, so that's why I'm here with the dryer to just speed up the process. And when it gets dried, it has a yellow look, as you guys can see. Now I'll be taking the same foundation I used on my face and this foundation brush just to change the color of that fake mouth to something close to my skin complexion. I'm also gonna set the foundation with this contour, with this powder I used for my contour. It's darker than me, but because the tissue is like white, I'm trying to get it to my skin complexion. So I'm using this darker powder just to bring it up to my blackness. I'm using some blush now to just make it have that little, like a little red undertone kind of thing, because it's a wound, so you know, it's supposed to look like that, right? Yeah. And then I'm using my scissors just to start cutting out where my mouth is. And you want to cut this past your actual mouth, like make it wider than your mouth, just to make the look a bit more scarier. Yeah, so just cut past your mouth, and then you want to cut out where your lips are. Like, I think I cut my bottom lip out too much, like based on the size of my pins, it wasn't, my pins, they were long enough, but I kind of had to force them. Well, I guess they weren't long enough. Yeah, so you might want to be careful, like when you're cutting out the space for your lips, because you don't want to cut a big space and your pins can't fit. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So after I cut out my mouth, I was thinking like, if somebody was actually cutting my mouth, I don't think I'd be so calm for them to cut it in a straight line. So I just went back over and kind of made the edges a bit more jagged. And with this Maybelline gel liner, I'm gonna just color inside right there. And then I bought this super cheap Kitty's face paint just because I wanted that red color right there. So I'm gonna mix that. I'm gonna put that on top of the black gel liner so it can have like a dark red color. I'm also gonna put some red around the mouth area and like on the inner part of the tissue thing, like the part where I cut, like the edges are white. You guys can see that, so I'm gonna color that part as well. Okay, so I think this part was my absolute favorite part when it was time for me to put the blood on. So I'm just using a makeup wedge, like that little sponge, and just putting it all over my mouth. Like I killed myself with this blood, like I was dripping in blood. It was fun. Now it's time for the safety pins. My pins are kind of short now that I'm thinking about it. I should have gotten longer pins, but anywho, just pin from the end of the bottom to the end of the top. I kind of lowered my head too much for this part, but you guys get the idea. And after you're finished with the pins, you're gonna put more blood. And I started to put it like all over my face, on my nose, just to make it more realistic. On my neck, everywhere except my eyebrows and my eyeshadow and eyelashes. Then I was thinking, if somebody's doing this to me, they'd have to fight me to hold me down, because I wouldn't be sitting quiet like, hey, come cut my lips. So I put some fingerprints from the bad person who was holding me down to cut me up and stuff. I have a wild imagination. I think about crazy stuff. Don't judge me. So yeah, I did tell you guys that the blood was my favorite part. As you can see, I changed my top just so I could go cover myself in that blood. Okay, did you guys like that? Did I do a pretty good job or nah? I think I did a pretty good job. That was fun. I took 1,000,001 pictures. Okay, so make sure to follow me on Instagram, follow me on Snapchat. All my names are in the description box. All my social media names are in the description box. It's Ashail D on Instagram and ohhsnapash on Snapchat. So yeah, make sure to follow me, guys. If you like this video, hit the like button down below right there. Also hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever I upload a video. And thank you so much for watching. And in case you're wondering why her eyebrows so fleeky and why she have one eyelash if she go like, you know, if that's gonna happen to her. But the story is, I went out on the road and I was dressed up and everything, and then I was walking somewhere by myself and it was dark, and the duppy come for me and she pulled me away, and like me there scream, and then she said stop screaming, and like me still there scream, and then she pin up my mouth. So that's why I have on eyebrow and eyelash and eyeshadow, cause me there go out. That's the story.